What do you need improvement in?
Just wanted to go through and win.
What is the purpose of overthinking? You're taking care of your loved one. That's how you can increase your sales.
Hello, everybody. This is Faris.
And this is Faris Flournoy, and welcome to another episode of Conversations with the Homecare Guyz.
Oh, man. Caleb, what's good, brother?
Man, well, first I want to say, Faris, everything is amazing. I'm super excited about today. I'm super excited about this episode. We're talking about the first 90 days, like the first quarter. And so, like, what are your goals and are you hitting your goals this first quarter? So I'm super excited to dive into it. But before we go into it, man, how has your weekend or your week been?
Man, this weekend was actually really good, man. Got a chance to spend some time with my little one. So my wife went away for a girls' weekend. Shout out to my sister-in-law, Avis. She celebrated her 40th birthday.
Congrats, Avis.
So definitely. So they got a chance to go out and have a good time. And so it was me and the little ones. We had a good time. We stayed in our pajamas majority of the day. I got a chance to cook.
I think that's the easy way. You just didn't want to change everybody's clothes.
Oh, no, I didn't. So we got a chance to eat some hamburger helper. That was really good. And also I got a chance to cook some chicken that was bomb last night as well. So that was really good, man. How about you, man? How was your weekend?
This weekend, yeah. So I from San Antonio, I did a road trip from San Antonio to Houston. And so that was amazing. I had the windows down, had music pumping. It was so amazing. I found a song that I like. What was the song? Let me see. My phone is somewhere else, but it was a song. It's called Fancy Time or something like this with Johnny Walker. Something. It's some kind of country song. It was a really, really nice song. So I found that song. What else? I went to the Price is Right in Houston.
Did you see what's the guy with the big shit? Drew Carey?
No, so he wasn't the host of that one.
Okay.
Yeah. Drew Carey, no. So it was like a local, like a traveling Price is Right. Okay. And so they had another host. It was a really fun. It was a great event. I went with some homegirls and some friends, and I just had a great time. Ate at this amazing restaurant in Houston called Paris. Beautiful food and amazing food. And then we went to the Price is Right, had a great time. It was just great. And everybody just had matching shirts. So we had matching shirts there.
I saw.
So that was nice. Everybody just had a good time. It was great vibes.
Did anybody win anything or get on stage?
Someone won a trip to Hawaii.
Okay.
Yep. They won a trip to Hawaii. They had a new car.
Oh, wow.
They played the infamous Plinko.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that was great. And I think she won like probably $800 on Plinko.
Was the stage really big, or they kept moving stuff up?
Yeah, it was like just like the Real Price is Right, like moving stuff. They had the girl that presented the prizes, and then one of my favorite games of the Price is Right was the yodel. Yodel do the yodel do the yodel.
You mess. Did the yodel fall over the mountain?
No, he won. That's what he won in Hawaii.
Oh, wow.
So he won 3 things. He won I think he won a moped. He won something else that he won in Hawaii. So he just got married.
That is cool.
So I think they was going to do that on a honeymoon. It was a great experience, and I see why a lot of people are happy at Price is Right. They have all these food and all these different alcohols you could drink.
Oh man, so everybody lit.
It was like it was amazing. So I would say go to the Price is Right. It was great. It was an amazing time.
That is awesome, man. That's awesome, brother. Well, who would have thought? I know we used to watch Price is Right at Grandma Miney's house all the time. It came in at 11 o'clock, but Bob Barker was the host back then, and just like I said, man, so many memories, bro. So many memories.
Bob Barker was a true host. Like Bob Barker had a way with connecting with people, and so they showed a video of like the history of Price is Right while we were sitting down, and so Bob Barker was one of them, and then the announcer, and just told about their histories. Wow. It was great. I mean, Houston was a great experience. So that weekend was absolutely amazing, and I topped the weekend off. I got to give a shout out, Faris, to one of the best pastors that I listen to online virtually, Dr. Arisha Hilliard from New Light Christian Church. I end up seeing her. And it was just, oh my goodness, like the ministry, the service was great. She talked about supernatural partnerships, and it was just so relatable. And so I've been I've been pretty much watching and following Dr. Arisha in New Light in Houston for a while. And so when I went there, I said, I'm definitely going to go and check out the church. And so I had an opportunity to go to New Light.
That's what's up. Sounds like it was a fun fact. weekend, man. And I know we're going to get ready to go through and actually dive into this podcast, man. Today, we're going to be talking about the first 90 days, not the first 48. First 48 is when people die and get killed and everything. So we're talking about the first 90 days, the first 90 days. Right. We're approaching the 90th day. I think right now it's probably about 80 something day 80 or somewhere in that area. Right. But we're approaching the first 90 days of this year. And this year has went by incredibly quick.
So fast.
So fast. We're already in the month of March, approaching April already. And so as we go through and reflect back on the first 90 days, I ask myself, am I on track to go through and set out to accomplish the things that I desire to accomplish, or have I taken any back steps? And I know many of you may be thinking about the same thing, because I know at the beginning of the year, we always go through and make our New Year's resolutions, and we always go through and say, we're going to go through and do this, and we're going to go through and do that. Right. But this conversation is going to allow you to go through and have an introspective point of view to go through and see, am I on path to go through and actually do the things that I said that I desire to go through, that I desire to do as well. So that's what we're going at today, Caleb.
Well, that's great. And I want to ask our audience, our viewers, what were some of your goals that you placed in the beginning of the year? And are you on track? And I think that one of the key things, Faris, that really kind of helps us out, especially when we are writing down goals, is making sure that we really track our goals to see if we're hitting our goals.
Exactly.
And so I think that that's important for you guys to actually think about, is not just write the goals, but have a detailed plan. And so with our detailed plan, we cross out everything that we have done and have achieved. And so that has been so helpful. And so Faris, personally, I know we're not talking about, if you want to talk about business or personally, it's up to you. But what have been like maybe one goal business or one goal person that you wanted to achieve within this year, and have you achieved it in the 90 days?
And so one of my goals that I started off this year and you can go back on the past episode, was to continue to do the things that I did in last year, is to keep doing with that. So I can honestly say over the last 90 days, I've been on track of doing the same thing. So one of the big things was making family a priority, and making sure that I'm going and dating my wife and make sure that we're having a good time. So we've been on track with the first 90 days. Yes, we've actually traveled a little bit. We've been able to go through on a couple of dates. We've been able to go through and build that relationship the way that we are intentionally building it as well. So that's one thing that I look back on that, and that's been a top goal. Like I have what we call a gold card. I have in my wallet, I think. Yep, right here. I have a gold card. If you would like a gold card, definitely get a gold card. We have a Homecare Guyz gold card. Exactly. But that's actually one of the things I put last year, and one thing I put on my gold card for this year as well, to keep that in front. That's an ongoing goal. And professionally, one of my goals was that I'm on track to do is to go through and actually automate our marketing system, meaning so I can have my hands off of the flow of the marketing. So that's something I'm working on right now. So that's hopefully my goal is to have it finished by April 15th.
Well, I want to say this too. I'm on our morning huddle with the Gap Care coordinators. They're getting leads from the social media.
Oh, nice.
That you set up.
Nice.
Automation. So nice. Really doing a great job with that.
Yeah.
So let me talk about my goal, actually. So personally, one of my goals was just to be present. So I guess we have similar kind of goals, to be present. So to spend more time with friends and family, and just kind of being here in the moment, instead of just kind of being so everywhere. And so I have really I'm working toward that goal. I think that I'm getting better. I'm definitely better than 90 days before, because I'm more aware of it. So just kind of being present. And then one of the personal goals is one of the goals was to create the foundation for our GAP program. And so I have really kind of build the foundation for this program. And I can't wait to train our team in April on the foundation and the processes for it, because our GAP department has really been growing, our pediatric department. And so we have taken on skilled nursing services. And so the foundation was like the main thing of this year. And so these 90 days, I have completed that. And so we'll be kind of kicking off a one-day training in April.
Exactly.
Hey you, do you know of a disabled child that needs in-home care services? My name's Adrienne. I'm a GAP clinical nurse with Prime Care Home Care. We specialize in providing in-home pediatric care for disabled children in the comfort of their home. I serve the South Metro Atlanta area. If you would like to enroll your disabled child, please call me at 470-651-8054.
Well, we're going to be going over 3 tips to go through and actually go through and allow you to assist you on this journey of this first 90 days, because just like I said, we're approaching the first 90 days. These tools that we're going to go through and give you is going to allow you to go through and get refocused and to go through and make sure that you hit your goal for this year. And the first thing that we want to go through and relate is, of course, it's time to get focused. It's time to get focused. I think so many times we're not crystal clear on where we're going.
Right.
Our goals are not either written down or our goals are just abstract. We don't know where we're going. And just imagine getting into a car going nowhere, especially with gas prices where they are right now. Who would do that? But that's what we're doing with our lives. We're saying that we want to be successful. We want to lose weight. We want to save more money, but there's no clear direction to go through and get there. We want to date our spouses even more. We have no clear direction. So we have to go through and get crystal clear on where we're going. And I think that's one thing that we had to go through and do. I had to go through and particularly look and see, what does, for me, dating my spouse look like? Where are we going? Because my wife does not like getting in the car and just saying, okay, well, hey, we just going to go somewhere and we end up nowhere.
Or you pick something.
Exactly. So she wants to know where we're going. So that actually takes direction. Okay, we're going here at 7:00. And now I can, just like you said, I can check that off the box because I have crystal clear plans on what we're doing as well. Also, another thing, Caleb, on that is, and I'm invite you back in, is, are you focusing too much or not enough time on the main thing? I think so many times getting refocused in these first 90 days, as we're approaching the first 90 days, is to go through and think about it. Am I focusing too much time on something that don't matter? Or am I giving too much time on things that am I not giving enough time on things that really matter the most? So this is what we call refocusing, having clear direction where you're going and focusing on the main thing, keeping the main thing the main thing.
Yeah, I would say that, like I said earlier, writing it down. Like you have to write it down, and you have to kind of revisit it on a day-to-day basis. You just can't write it down and put it in a journal and never look at it. And so I will put it on places. I follow on Instagram, I think this guy name is David Amante or something like that. So he wrote down his income of what he wants to own a mirror, and he wrote it in like on his bathroom mirror. He wrote down whatever he wanted to make. And so you can see it on a day-to-day basis. And so if you do your goals like that, I know in my house, believe it or not, Faris, on my light switches, you know, when you go to light switches, one of my goals were to learn a new word. So my partner and I, we put down different words on the light switches that we wanted to learn. And so we will put down that word with the definition. And so that will be something that whenever we flip the light switch, it's something that we see, something that we learn a new word. And so, you know, you think about all these light switches that you have in the house. Yeah. You know, it may look a little tacky, but at least you're meeting your goals. And so if you did your goals like that, if you wrote down your goals on your light switches and on your refrigerator and on your stove before you cut it on, you can see those things, and you can see it on a day-to-day basis. And then that would align you to see if I'm aligning with meeting my goals.
And that's keeping the main thing, keep focus. And I think about, when you said that, I think about when I was in the military and we said you have to go to the range and actually shoot. And you always have to focus on that target. You get those sights focus in on that target. And where you're focusing on, that's where that bullet, that projectile is supposed to go as well. And that's the same thing when we're talking about goals, is what are we focusing on? Just like you said, you put the words on the light switches, etc. These are things that if you focus on it, you can't help but to hit your target. But the moment you just put it in the abstract or you stop focusing on it, I guarantee you won't hit it. I guarantee.
Let's go to the second topic, which is recommitment. Practice consistency. I think that is so important because consistency leads to commitment. And so the first thing is actually getting started. Yes. Getting started and being consistent. I think that you could be so many successful people. It's not like how they start the journey. It's how they finish the journey. And how they finish the journey is the line between it, which is the consistency. And so you have to really stay consistent. There are going to be days when you don't want to exercise. You know, there's going to be days that you don't want to eat healthy. You know, you're going to have slack days or days that you say, you know, I'm going to have a cheat day today. And so, but you have to be consistent with the overall goal, And so in 90 days, my goal is to lose weight. In 90 days, my goal is to grow a 8-month savings fund. In 90 days, my goal is to travel abroad. And so once you really kind of do that, be consistent with it. Do the work that it takes in order to achieve the goal. And like I said, you are going to have days that you don't feel the best. You're going to have days that you that you feel like, okay, what am I working towards? But once you go in and be consistent with it, consistency is the key, because you're going to ultimately get whatever you want if you're consistent enough.
And Caleb, I like consistency because I'm not calling it a principle, but consistency works on both hands. If you consistently work towards your goal, you'll achieve them. If you consistently become lazy in the process, you will consistently receive the results thereafter. Mm-hmm. And so one thing that is you have to go through and decide what you're going to be consistent with. Are you going to be consistently working towards your goal, or consistently saying, you know what, making excuses, consistently not working towards your goal, consistently saying I'm gonna start. So I think that's one thing right there. And the thing is, we have to stop looking for immediate results because nothing happens with an immediate action. Like, I mean, nothing happens just immediately. Consistency means that I'm going to go through and take these seeds that I have and I'm going to put it in the ground. And I'm going to go through and till the soil. Then I'm going to put the seed in the ground. Then I'm going to go through and water the seed. Right. Then I'm going to go through and actually make sure the weeds are away from it so it's not choking out the seed as it sprouts up. Right. Then I'm going to go through and make sure we have enough sunlight. I'm going to continue to water it because I know in 45 days, in 90 days, in 180 days, I will get the results thereafter. That's what consistency says. Consistency says that I have a seed, but I know it's going to grow into a tree in its time as well.
And Faris, I want to say this. I remember doing projects, especially as a child, and we did a project, I guess it was in science class or whatever class it was. But, you know, we learned about, you know, the seed and the, you know, how a seed sprout up. And so many times, especially when we plant the seed, Faris, we put it in the dirt and the teacher would tell us to continue to water it and put it by the window so the sunlight can hit it and stuff like that. And so we would go day in and day out and we never saw anything. But then that one day when we walk into class and we see that little stem from the ground and we get all excited. And then the next maybe few days we see a little leaf on it. So we get all this excitement. And so that's the consistency part of it. And that's the commitment part that you have to have. You have to still be committed even though when you don't see results.
Yes.
Because something is happening in the atmosphere. Something is happening underneath the ground. And so I want you to know this. Seem like I'm about to preach right now. And I want you to know this, especially when you go into it, there's going to be, when you are working on a goal, you may not see what's happening. What's happening underground. You may not see what's happening. You know, if you say my goal is to get that 8-pack or that 6-pack, you know, you may have a 1-pack first. So that's it's working, but you have to still be consistent. And so I would say that even though when it doesn't look like something is happening, something is happening. So you be consistent and you go after your goals because it's going to happen if you be consistent.
Exactly.
I promise you that.
And that's one thing, these first 90 days, again, remaining focused and recommit yourself back to your goals that you have as well. Right. And the last thing, Caleb, we have to go through and explain is, I want people to realize that time is not on your side. A lot of times we think that, oh, we got all the time in the world. Oh, we'll go through and get it done later. I'm gonna wait till the kids grow up. I'm gonna wait till I'm gonna wait till I have enough money. I'm gonna wait till the time. I'm gonna wait till the summertime come before I start working out. I'm gonna. We have to realize that time is not on our side because with every last excuse we have, there's an adverse effect. Because what if we don't make it to the summer? What if something happened to the kids where they're gonna need you even the more? Wow. And you're delaying your dreams. What if the summertime comes and the summertime comes with its own problems and you're unable to go through and work out like you would like to go through and work out now? What if for some reason right now you have a great job and you can save right now? What if 6 months from now or a year from now that job is no longer there? Right. What did you do right now? So we have to realize that time is not on our side. The only thing that's on our side is is now. It's the power of now. Is actually going through and saying, you know what, my commitment starts now. I have to refocus now. I have to go through and keep my goals in front of me now. And this is what's going to go through and allow individuals to go through and make the next 90 days even better than the first 90 days. And then ultimately it'll create that lifestyle that they desire as well.
Wow. That's amazing right there. You know, I remember, especially when you talk about time is not on your side. Do you remember that Justin Timberlake movie that came out of Time?
Yes.
That was so profound because most people were actually they were trying to buy time. And so like when you say time is not on our side, we only are given so many days, so many years, so many decades or whatever here on earth. And so if we were so focused with our goals, you know, there's a saying, in order to create the life you want, you have to do things that others don't do, you know, in order to create it. Those people that create the lives that they want, they are focused. They are committed to their goals. So ultimately, they have the time to enjoy it. When you don't be committed and focused with your goals because you're committed to someone else's goals,
yes,
you're not going to eventually have the time to enjoy your goals.
Pause right there. When you said committed to someone else's goals, that's not just necessarily, okay, I'm working for someone else. That means I'm committed to going through and actually spending 14 hours on the weekend watching movies. I'm committed to their goal. Their goal is to become the best actor that they can be.
Right.
And I'm committed to going through and supporting you. And does that commitment, is it mutually beneficial? What have we learned from that? What have we gained from that? And so I think that's one thing is just like I said, being committed to your goals. If we're going to spend 14 hours going through or 3 hours watching a movie,
Right.
Can you spend 3 hours doing some self-improvement?
Right.
Can you spend 3 hours working on a budget? Can you spend 3 hours reading a book? Because as equally as entertaining this is, it will not be entertaining when your goals are not met. And that's one thing is my prayers for everybody to go through and actually meet whatever goals that they have. And it does take a push. It's not going through and saying it's going to be easy. You have to remain committed. You have to be focused, and you have to realize that you're running out of time. We're only going to be here for a certain amount of years.
Right.
Some of us are going to be here for 100 years. Some of us may be here for 50 years or 5 years or 20 years. But whatever time we have, we must go through and take advantage of it. So not only this first 90 days, think of this 90 days as just a part of your life.
Yes.
Go through and think of this 90 days as the transformative. This was the paradigm shift that you decided to make something great out your life.
Right.
And I think that's one thing that we want to encourage as well is the next 90 days should be way greater than the first 90 days because you have made the commitment.
Exactly. Well, Faris, I think we're going to end it right there.
Yes,
because I think that's important. You know, we want you to tackle your goals. We want you to achieve your goals. And in order for you to achieve your goals, you must be focused.
Yep.
You must be committed. And you must, and the last one was, you must be focused. You must be committed.
And you must realize you don't have all the time in the world.
And guess what? You have to realize, only you are given a certain amount of time. And so you want to make sure that you utilize that time to the best of your ability. And so there you have it. Conversation with the Homecare Guys. I want you to remember to go on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We put out new videos every Tuesdays and Thursdays. And Faris, tell them about the other social media platforms.
Yes. So we're on Spotify. Check us out on Anchor. You can find us on all streaming platforms. You go through Anchor. Just like I said, our goal is to go through and actually just continue to go through and serve the conversations that you desire to go through here. And make sure you tune in each Thursday because, again, this is where we're going to be going through and interviewing entrepreneurs and community leaders that's going to go through and engage the conversation with us. But it will be a direct benefit for you to go through and actually sit at the table as well and soak in all that knowledge, learn from their mistakes. Everyone's not in the healthcare field. There may be some entrepreneur that may inspire you to go through and do something great as well. So make sure you tune in each Thursday to check out those talks as well.
Well, there you have it. Definitely remember to subscribe and definitely share our video. We want as many people to hear about our video, about this episode as possible, about your goals in the first 90 days. So let's get it. Let's tackle. We got 90 days down. Guess what? We got another 3 more quarters. Let's rock and roll it.
Rock and roll.
Hope you have a great day.
Have a great one.